day, from Las Vegas, Nevada, it's Week 15 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Philadelphia Eagles.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Las Vegas, Nevada. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Las Vegas Raiders. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Raiders set to go to work behind their veteran quarterback, and that's Derek Carr.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
two touchdown passes last week.
Two touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. The Pro Bowler Fletcher Cox there to get him down. So we'll look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Throwing his car on third down. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. So the Eagles now, they'll be in great position here to start things out. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What did the columnists write? Possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave what game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
The numbers for him from a week ago. 17 carries, 77 yards.
And a rushing title's definitely within sight, so the excitement on the offensive side of the football, I mean, they're bouncing off the walls wanting to get out there, but they also understand that they're going to face some really stacked defenses down the stretch because they don't want it to happen at their expense.
And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on third down. He gets this down to the 3, but no further. Brought the power run out of the bag and got a couple extra yards with it.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that...
And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Boston Scott, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles have taken the early lead.
Well, we got a little bit of everything on that run. Offensive line creating some space, but how about the guy running behind his pads into the end zone?
What does that mean when a guy... Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it.
The conversion is no good.
I thought the days of the fake extra point were numbered once they moved these kicks back to the 15. Apparently, I was mistaken.
Yeah, I was wondering who was ever going to try to do this. In fact, I quit wondering. I didn't think it would ever happen. Taking a fake from the 15-yard line to try and pick up an extra point, I didn't think anyone would ever call this.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
A check on Jacobs from a week ago. 15 carries, 62 yards.
And they love what they've got in him. He's the number 4 rusher in the league right now, so you know that you have to account for him on defense, which means you can play complementary football as well. Throw the play action, get it out to the wide receivers, because they should have some open space, because the defense will key on it.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. On 2nd and 11 now. Carr into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Cravon LeBlanc with a pick. What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect.
How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back at them. Instead, they read their keys well. When they took the shot downfield, they were more than prepared for that one.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. That's caught by Jackson. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards on the play.
First down, Philadelphia.
And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Deshaun Jackson with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Eagles able to push further out in front.
Partner, to me, that touchdown had something that was kind of rooted in that group seeing the future. And what I mean by that is they had a plan. Let's find a way to score right here before the half. And that'll give us momentum going into the second half. Give us that cushion that we're looking for. They got that accomplished, scoring right before the half ended.
Takes this about 5 yards deep. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Derek Carr and the Raiders set for their next possession. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already...
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So we've hit half. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it.
Raiders, nothing.
So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he spins through. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Aguilar on the return. The Eagles take over 1st and 10. At their own.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Now we have Kelsey, slow to get back to his feet. Appears to be shaken up. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. He finds some way to turn this into positive yardage as he struggles forward for a pickup of about 2.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Boston Scott, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Eagles add on to their lead.
And that's another route that defenders would vote to take out of the game.
The wheel route?
Oh, without a doubt. You're just trying to move everybody in one direction. And whether it's a running back or another receiver, as they sit out on the sideline, you've got a problem on your hands.
Yeah, well, the defenders hate it there. It happened, and it resulted in a touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A gain there of 21 yards.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. We're off to the fourth quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Carr now on first down. And he's got the hook up to Ruggs. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And it's picked up by the Eagles. He's at the 30. Past the 20. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line.
Okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example, do you? I mean, you talk about frustrating all the way through. And that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. They go again with Scott. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
3rd and goal at the 4-yard line. And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there. This defense bending but not breaking. It's a gain of 3. It's now 4th and goal.
It's 4th and goal at the 2-yard line.
They'll try and run for it. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Eagles take advantage of good field position on the turnover to cash this one in.
Well, partner, when a team's up this big, this late in the game, I always wonder what's their motivation, because if it's me, I'm thinking about pulling on the reins a little bit. But for them, I don't think it's in their DNA. It's not in their head coach's makeup at all. I think his opinion is, you stop us, we're not supposed to pull back ourselves.
And he will get into the end zone again, and he seems to have a nose for it as he gets both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Jacobs. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Working from the gun, it's Carr. He'll get this underneath to Jacobs. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Carr going to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles, and this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
So they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field, so you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for the Eagles, they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things to 14-0. And they'll have another road date next week with the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for Las Vegas, their slim playoff hopes are gone now as they fall to 5-9. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here.